Right, let's have a look at these windows at the top here. Okay, and we'll start off by modelling this one here. And I've just dropped an image in here for reference, so we can see this is actually the top window, but I think they're all the same here. So we can see that we've got a little frame around the edge, and that gives rise to these struts down here. So you can say this is all kind of one object. And then these windows, it looks to me like, well, they have handles, so these open, and I'm going to hazard a guess that they open kind of this side is the hinge, and they open from this side inwards. So we're going to have to make a kind of slight kind of retainer at the top for the windows, or maybe even we don't. Maybe we'll make this top bit first, the little frame first, make the windows, and then we'll see how we get on with the inside. The inside's more difficult, obviously, because I haven't been inside yet, so it's kind of more difficult. But let's start off with this. So I'm going to drop back into my 3D view, and what I want to do is I'm going to reuse some of the geometry from one of these windows, so that we've got a very similar length, right? So I'm just going to press Z to go into wireframe mode. Then I'm going to go into this particular object here. And what I'm going to do is go into edit mode, so press tab and then go into face mode, control tab and then face. And then what I want to do is detach this top face from this object. Okay. So I'll press Shift D, and that will duplicate it. I'll duplicate it along Y. No, it won't. I'll duplicate it along Z. Okay. And then same as before, if we go into Mesh, Vertices, Separate, or P for a shortcut, which didn't work, I'll press P again, by selection. Then now we have a completely separate object that we can start to use. So I'm going to press tab again, go out of edit mode, and then come into this particular in fact, you know what, maybe this no, maybe not. I was thinking maybe we could have used that instead. Let's press Z and see what we've got. Actually, we could. In fact, that's what we'll do. So press Z again. I'm just going to, in fact, get rid of this. Press delete, and we'll reuse our back window that flips open. Okay. So I'm going to use, this is still hooked up into an array, these windows here, so we'll leave them for the time being. Oops, let's escape. So I'm going to take the back window off of one of these two here. Okay, and I'm going to duplicate it, so Shift D, and then I'm going to press Z up the ways. Okay, and what that really rather handily does is give us the beginnings of our first top window. So if we press 1 on the keyboard, so we're flat, I can just bring this along, just move it down a bit, okay, and just drop it down to here. Now what we have to remember is that the editing for this is going to be done in edit mode. Okay, so if I press tab, then all of our editing's done here. Now, I think what might be a good idea is just to do a little bit of repair work on here first. So I'm going to go into vertex mode, and I'm going to press A, and then I'm just going to snap these into the corner. Okay, so I'm going to switch my snap tool on at the bottom here, and then make sure it's snapped to vertex, which will give us the facility to do that. And then what we'll do is, in fact, we'll just snap this the way that we have been. So we'll select one, and then we'll shift right click the other one, Alt M at last. Okay, so shift click the other one, Alt M at last. The thing that I get caught up with quite a lot is there are so many different ways to do this kind of stuff, literally in the same program, that I just think, oh, maybe I should just show you all these different ways, but I'm not entirely sure that it's wise just to kind of keep going on about different ways to do stuff. I guess you'll find those sorts of things out yourself. So we'll do the same here. Right click, shift right click, Alt M, right click, shift right click, Alt M, right click, shift right click, Alt M, and then I'm choosing last all the time just to be sure. Alt M, last. Okay, so that's us kind of back to right. So I'm going to press 1, and then we can start to kind of maneuver this around. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to press B, and I'm going to select all of these top vertices, and I'm going to drag these up so that they fit up in here, kind of about there. And then I'm going to press A, and then press B again, and then do the same down the bottom. Okay, and I'm going to press B, and I'm going to do the same at the sides. Oh, see what happens if you don't deselect. Press A first, then B, and then select these sides, pull them along until they're in about the right sort of spot. Press A, press B again, and then move these out. Okay, which is great. Now there might be slightly. Actually, they're not. I thought they might have been slightly bigger than they need to be, but I don't in fact think they are. I think they look about right. So I think we'll keep them there. That's good. And then we've got press A, and then we've got our kind of middle points here. So we press B, and we'll just kind of pull this in to about here. And then I want to scale along the x-axis until we get around about the thickness of those posts, which I'm going to sort of say is about kind of there. Okay, now what we need to do is press A again, but this time we need to make some edge loops and some loop cuts in here. So Control R, and then mouse wheel forwards. Mouse wheel forwards. So we need 1, 2, 3. We need 2 sides. So we need 6. 6. And we need to press left mouse button. And then we need to do the same at the bottom. Control R. 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Press left mouse button. Okay, then we need to do that kind of lining up thing again. So I'm going to press N on the keyboard to make sure that I've got my side up. And I'm going to go initially with this one. So X is 987. So I'm going to press B, I'm going to select around here, I'll do that in a minute. Hang on a sec, just make sure I got that right. B is, yeah, it is 987 along X. So A, B, and turn that to 987. And then we'll do the same down here. So A, then B. That's almost there. 986, 987. And then A, then B. And then 987. So that's one side done. And then we can just do the same on the others. So B, and this is 397. That's nice and easy to remember. 397. And then A, then B. And we got the same pattern. 396, 397. A, then B. 397. Okay, so we got these two, so we can click B, drag select around here, and then move these in. And then we can click B, drag select around all of them, move them into position. And then I can zoom in a little bit and just sort of shimmy around, because we're going to extrude. Press A and then Control Tab into face. I'm going to extrude this face down into this face like we've done before. So I'm going to zoom out a little bit, I'm going to press E and then down a little ways to here. And I'm going to press Q, which if you remember was zoom to selected, or view selected, so that we can kind of see it. And then here we've got this kind of familiar thing, it looks like the same thing that we've done again. So with X, delete faces, select this face, X, delete faces, Control Tab into vertex mode, and then right click, Shift right click, Alt M, select last, and it's repeat, Alt M, select last, Alt M, select last, Shift right click, select last. Okay, so now there are two parts of the frame which are in position. Okay, so one thing that I'm just going to try quickly before we finish here is I'm just going to try and duplicate these vertices along here and see if we can shift it along. I don't think we can, but I think it's just worth a go, because why not? So I'm going to press A and then B and then just select all of these here, and then I'm going to hit Shift D. Now, whilst we can duplicate them, they don't adhere to the object. Now this is something that it's something that would be really handy to do, actually. There may be a way to do it in Blender, I'll have to investigate and see, but for now you guys you carry on and get these other struts done, and then when we come back mine will be done also, and then we'll just look at in fact, using the same technique we can get all of these windows done. So when we come back we'll have all the windows done using exactly the same technique as we've just done. Okay.